Good evening. This is the Raleigh Finance Committee meeting of Tuesday, July 12th, 2016. The time is 7:22 and we're being recorded for all those in the audience. And call the meeting to order. First item of business is reorganization. Jamie, by the way, is at the water board meeting, so she may not be here until later.
You want to postpone that till we have a full board, or?
What do the members think? What do you think?
Well, could we just skip over it to the end of the meeting
Sure.
and see if she arrives?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's go on to
board.
number 4, approve minutes. Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes of June 14th?
Yes, I have. They looked fine.
Okay.
No comments at all.
Have a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Dennis and Paul, any discussion on the minutes? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. Okay, reserve fund transfer to snow and ice account. I think that's the first item on our list. $5,390.23.
That's cheap.
That is the smallest reserve fund transfer I have ever seen for snow and ice. I make a motion that we do it.
Before it snows.
Yes.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, Sharon, Dennis. Any other discussion on it? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay, let's see, 12.
It could only be that way next year, too.
But they increased the snow and ice account
Yeah, they did, yeah,
a little bit.
a little bit.
I think tomorrow we will wish that we had snow and ice. Here you go, Peter.
Mr. Chairman, are you using the form that's in your folder? The original? So it's
I
a
didn't know that
triplicate,
there was.
the original form.
Yeah, that's the wrong form.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's a photocopy, I think, just.
Oh, there it is, okay. That was a practice.
Oh, okay.
We just have Patrick sign that too, because he didn't sign it.
Yeah, I had to write it up.
Oh, okay.
He's aware of it.
Okay, let's try it again. You can do that form back.
I might give it to Sharon.
No, this
Oh,
this one doesn't
okay.
count.
All right.
We'll have him sign that tomorrow. He's aware of it. They just didn't have the paperwork in there.
Here you go. You want to get rid of this one, or just hold it?
Okay. Next item is number 6, reserve fund transfer request from the town administrator. This is the $6,400 $35 for the annex expense.
Just for the fire alarm?
Right.
So the information is attached.
That's this one over here.
Which one is that one?
We had two transfers for that, but
6,400.
I know, I don't see it.
Yeah, there it
This
is.
one.
Oh, they're right there, it's down
Right.
towards the end.
Yeah.
there's another one too. The only question I had is the contract that gave us the price that is, it doesn't say that prevailing wages, is see no prevailing wages?
Yes, actually, it was a revised quote because the original one did not have the prevailing.
So the 64 includes
Is,
the,
includes the
Is,
prevailing
yeah.
wage rates. They
maybe
they
just
do
on this
have it.
contract, you should put prevailing wages. So
I'm
that-
gonna actually write that
Yeah.
on there once I get the
Yeah.
approval.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, have a motion to accept the transfer.
I'll second it.
35. Any other discussion on it?
No.
I'd just like you all to realize this is coming out of this year's budget, not last year's.
Okay.
Right, and Debbie's gonna look into reimbursing, seeing if we can get this reimbursed at the town meeting so that it'll bring us back up. And
We have some lines I can look at or some articles. I'll try to get this money back in it in the town meeting.
So, I have a question about the reserve funds. Do we know what our balance is after all these transfers?
This is the only transfer.
Right,
This
it's
is brand new fiscal
73
Okay, but, so
thousand.
what are we,
25, I think we start with.
Is it so
75.
early in the fiscal year?
what are we working with for reserves so far this
75,000?
75,000.
Yeah, 75, but we spent,
68,500. We'll reimburse it at this fall.
where's my sheet on it? Can't find my sheet. No, I did have it here somewhere.
Yeah, so there's a $75,000 appropriation.
Right, but we spent
And
something
so
like,
the balance after this will be 68,565, so we'll try to make up this transfer either at the fall town meeting or certainly by the spring or something. I should be able to get a feel of where I could plug this money back into your reserve fund.
okay, any other discussion on that? Lost my sheet. Okay, so, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? No. Transfer is approved, 6435.
Go, Sharon.
They moved upstairs yet? The offices are in the process
Yes,
of
we
doing it?
did, and so I have a transfer to cover
Yeah.
the Wakefield Moving Company.
Everybody's all settled in now? or-
That's right, it's still unpacked.
Very limited.
You know.
It's limited hours because without an elevator, you can't have any public hours up there, so they're doing some administrative work only. The fire alarm
Yeah.
system covers them because there was no fire alarm system up there.
Okay. Take care of it. All right. Next one. Review budget transfers submitted by the fire chief and town administrator. It would be the call firefighter one for $620.
I will recuse myself from that.
Okay.
My only question on that form, Was it all the others are dated and signed by all the selectmen? That one is not dated, and 3 selectmen signed it. Is 3 selectmen signatures sufficient?
Yes.
And there's no date written in.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was last night. We're moving that into your meeting folder from last night.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we
It just
voted
was
on
different
last
from
night.
the other forms, that's why.
And I believe the fire chief hasn't used the updated form, so some of the titles, I think, are off too.
Okay.
He's using an older version.
Right, he's got Robert Mary as the chairman.
And he
Yeah,
recused
Bob
himself from
recused
that.
himself for all the fire department.
Right. Do I have a motion to approve the $620 transfer?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, Paul, Janet, any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. And one recruits. Okay.
I don't think anybody else will be coming.
Yep. Okay, next will be the $2,000 transfer from town council litigation to the annex expense. And that's for moving everything. I think that's all in your item from what they had to move.
I'll make a motion.
Okay. A motion by Sharon. Janet, any discussion further on it? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion is carried, or the transfer is carried.
So this, I don't think mentions anything about the Board of Health on the cover sheet, but on this, you know, with this, all this detail as they talk about the Board of Health, second floor to go down to the basement of the annex for storage and from town.
I attached the sheet because I couldn't type everything in there. There was some Board of Health files and things that were moved as well. Predominantly Concom and Planning Board. Things that were actually here in the basement, 2 huge plan files that
Okay.
weighed a tremendous amount of, pounds to move. That we moved from the basement here to the second floor at the annex. And we don't have anybody who can do that.
Musical chairs.
Doesn't happen that often, though.
Running out of space.
It's amazing when I remember the town clerk's office used to be in a little hallway in somebody's house. And this was the library.
This was the library?
Yes.
So we don't want to renovate because then we might lose our chance of being in a movie site.
Yeah, I know.
So
I
that
saw that
was-
last night.
They were here taking
Yeah,
pictures today.
there's some
Take 'em
promising
on.
locations for the film.
What film is this?
Chappaquiddick,
Oh,
Apex Films, and CBS Films. They want to reenact a scene they're looking for a specific location of the Edgartown Police Chief's office from the, 1960s era. So they, I was with the location manager today, and he's got maybe an office at the annex, or possibly maybe here at Town Hall.
That'll be fun.
They've updated their building.
That's why they're up here on the North Shore, I guess, and not in beautiful Martha's Vineyard, I'm not sure. But
There'll be a bunch of extras that are gonna probably volunteer to be stand-ins or whatever.
Yeah.
The holding cell.
Okay, let's go to the next one. Blanket insurance to police wages, $4,000. And this is due to time off, transfers. So can I have a motion to approve the police budget transfer? Okay, Janet and Dennis. Any discussion on the transfer? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay. Let's see.
Sharon?
Okay, let's go on to item number 8, review water department revenue. And unfortunately, Jamie isn't here. She's at the water board meeting, but they're coming up with a monthly total so that they can kind of compare things. Just to see what the water usage and what the fees are. There's
What is the, what does this memo mean from Sue Bailey that we just got tonight? Basically, has the same number as the crosshair, except I think it has the month of May that's included there, but in her memo it says something about, I don't know if you want to read it, but it looks like there's gonna be an anticipated shortfall.
let me just read it for the sake of putting it into the record. This is from Sue Bailey to Jamie Snow, email of June 30th, 2016. Revenue for water. Jamie, the water department through May has billed revenue of $2,421,180.56 versus estimated revenue for the whole year of $2,749,485.47. See attached revenue report. This is a shortfall of $328,304.91, with 1 month remaining to be billed. Last June, we billed $218,487.33, net of discounts, leaving an anticipated shortfall of $109,817.58. However, the Water Department has $473,662.54 of unspent appropriations as of today. See attached budget report. Less around $880,000 of unbilled projects, which will more than mitigate the revenue shortfall. I will be on vacation next week, returning the 12th, but Mary Beth should be able to help you with any further questions before then.
I have one question. Besides the shortfall, how does the water department have $473,000 still left? I mean, you know, they have, what, a $2 million budget? I don't have the budget in front of me, but I know it was 2-point-something million, right?
Right.
So that's roughly, what's that, 1/5, 20% still left?
Right.
Is there, I'm kind of concerned that there's that much overage, as much as the shortage isn't, well, that's going to be an issue, but I don't know if there's an explanation for the overage as well.
I think she's been trying to be very careful on her spending.
Yeah, but that's a lot of carefulness. I mean, you know, when you...
Remember, too, Dennis, they didn't get some of the people hired as soon as they wanted that. I would think that would be reflected in that. I don't know what percent that would represent.
Well, there's
for
3
labor.
positions, I think, right, that are still open?
Yeah.
now,
Right.
Are they still open?
Well, we did have somebody in for a short term, but right now we have a part-time janitor for this fiscal year, though, excuse me,
Yeah,
this fiscal year. But the
Yeah, it's some
distribution
operators.
working
Yeah,
foreman,
yeah.
we filled the position, but the person worked about 6 weeks. The administrative assistant was filled at the end of December. And we have, so we have a couple of vacancies right now.
Okay.
Utility manager, distribution working foreman, and janitor.
Janitor, yeah.
But
I'd
I'm
be-
not sure, this is, I'm not sure why what's going on with that.
I mean, I
It's
because that's the biggest department
Yeah.
and the most controversial department, you know, for the last so many years. I think it might be worth having them in, or have one of the board members and other board members in, just to kind of walk us through this, because I mean, these are numbers that don't mean anything to us other than they've got a lot of money left over and they're short on the other side. They must have an explanation for that, and I think it's important that we find that out, so that when we look at their budget next year, we adjust it accordingly. I mean, I think the numbers are, I think I remember, was it 4 months ago, I kind of did a projection, and I think I was saying it looks like they're going to be short 95,000, just based on previous years. And it looks like, you know, it's going to be short possibly 100,000 or more. I mean, they can cover it, I can see that, but you want to try to not cover it with, if they put all these people, if they put the personnel in there and they do what they said they were going to do in their budget, you shouldn't have $473,000 over. So I don't know what the explanation is for that. So I guess we could look at this and say, not an issue because the money's going to get covered, but really it is an issue because we need to
Right.
know what's happening. Why are these numbers in the extremes as they are? And I know probably some of the shortfall, it might be more than 100,000, because with the drought and all this other stuff and the water bans and everybody conserving water because of the prices, I mean, that could be a lot more than $100,000. You know, because, you know, people are getting their water bills, and until we get that final number, I think you're going to see that number go more than 100. But they have
Right.
enough money to cover it, I guess. But I'm still concerned that the numbers are so far apart. So, I mean, I'd like to see them come in at our next meeting because it's a good time of the year, the end of the fiscal year, beginning of the next fiscal year, kind of see, recap what they did last year, see why the numbers are the way they are, and then we can also see how they are so far in this fiscal year, so that we
She'll
can.
have the actual data for May and June, which will have a full year
Yep.
of data.
Yep.
We're missing the last 2
Yeah, I
months.
mean, so our next meeting is, I don't know when our next meeting is, but I'm assuming August, September, or whatever. That's a good time before budgets start to recap what happened,
Right.
what happened this year.
My question, I don't know if she's underestimating the bill, because in May, what is she saying, that there's, only 119,000 that was in May
Oh,
that was billed, when the normal looks like it would be around,
It's 174,000.
but okay, so where you getting 174, where is that?
On the second page of the,
Second.
of Sue Bailey's report, next page. Next page
Next page?
is May. See, it's 174. It's not printed on the spreadsheet
Okay.
yet, but that number, you could fill that number in there if you wanted to. So there's really 1 month left, and that's
Okay.
what she's saying, that if you go by last year, it would be, whatever she says in here, 218,000 that she's anticipating is being billed. But with the water bans and things of that nature, if that falls to like 150, then that 109 goes to 160 as our shortage.
I don't know if the water bans would have much effect, Dennis, honestly, because it seems like in recent years, we get them automatically every year.
Yeah.
A water
Right.
ban, the only thing that might affect is if the price, the water rates.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's definitely.
With the conservation.
I mean, I don't know how many people have turned to wells, private wells. I mean, those all, they're small numbers maybe, but, you know, I'm getting an average water bill is $1,000 or more. You know, you have 10 of those, it's $10,000,
Yeah.
you know, so, I mean, I don't
If
know.
you look
what-
at the final read fees and the miscellaneous, I mean, there are people that are quitting every month.
On the final read?
Well,
Right.
that
No,
could
that's
be
for when you
real estate
move.
transfers,
Yeah,
too.
that's real estate transfers. When you go to sell your
okay.
house, they do a
All
final
right.
reading. It would be the turn water on.
Turn water on,
or-
off.
On and off, probably, I would guess.
Okay.
You-
So the
Yeah,
first
that's
two
right.
line items here, what are those?
Usage billed?
Well, total water and usage bill, what
That-
is, what is?
That's the dollar amount, like for June 15th, the
The
total
billing.
water billed, $272,092.78. The usage was 11 million,
Right, I understand what the numbers
Gallons.
are, what do they mean? What's the difference between total water and usage billed?
I think water is gallons and usage is what people will build.
Yeah, I think that's the amount of gallons that were used, that's your usage, and then the water, total water is how much was charged for that amount of water.
It's just
Right.
odd to have gallons and
No,
such.
I don't think it's gallons. I think it's dollars, because if you look at Sue Bailey's report,
well,
Sue Bailey's report,
which one is dollars?
they're all dollars.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't typically put anything other than dollars in a spreadsheet.
No, because if you look at Sue Bailey's report for the month of July, she has 281,442.78, and if you look at the bottom number of the spreadsheet, it's 281,442.78. So these are dollars. These aren't gallons or anything like that. So usage billed, I don't know what that means, but that's a dollar amount.
Yeah,
It's 11,
Yeah.
is that 11 million?
No, that can't,
Yeah.
I still think it's the gallons. but
Yeah, it can't be.
Well, it-
Usage is the water.
Well,
Yeah.
How much was used?
no, I don't think so, well,
We wouldn't be, because if you add up these totals, the 101 is included in the 2322 dollar amount in the bottom. If you look at the final numbers over there across,
Yeah,
so that can't be gallons, that's,
It's
those are
money,
dollars
because
too.
if you look at again, I'm repeating myself, I know I am, but the general ledger this is all dollars. And when you look at the
Right.
number for the month of, let's go to August. She had 321, 313.17, and if you look at the spreadsheet, bottom of August 15th of 2015, it was 321, 313.17, so it's the exact same numbers. And those are
Yeah, at the
dollars.
bottom,
They're
right.
dollars.
But the only way to get that is if you take the 320,
You
638.
skip over
Skip
over
over
the usage and then add the others.
Add the other ones,
Yeah.
then you
Yeah.
come up with the 321. So the 13 million,
Is probably what they recorded on water meters, I guess.
All right, it's just
Yeah.
weird to
You
have
could really
Yeah.
explain it.
something like that in
Yeah.
a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
So
'Cause- yeah.
that makes more sense now. I just thought they
Right.
were both numbers, because that's what I would expect in a spreadsheet, but.
The other thing, you can't use that number to figure out the dollar amount because of the different rate
Yeah.
scales.
Right.
You don't
And then
know.
discount.
It's just the pumped water.
And also,
That-
look at your usage bills for July, August, September, almost 12 million, almost 14 million,
Yeah.
another 12 million. And then it gets down to the winter months, 7 million.
yeah, almost
That's
drops
because
in
people aren't
half.
filling pools, they're not
Yeah.
watering their gardens or their lawns. So that's gotta be gallons of
Yeah.
water used
Right.
for each month. So we used, in other words, in 10 months, 101 million and whatever gallons in the town.
So, to me, it looks like if do they need to come to us to
Then you would be able to
ask to
divide
transfer
these two numbers
money from
together.
one account to the other, or is that
And-
just internally?
So-
I think that's
I
internally.
don't know what
They could do that.
and some people pay a
One-
higher rate.
Depends on what it's, where they're getting the money from.
Well, they're
Not
taking-
that they had to
Some of it has to go to town meeting.
Some
Right.
of, yeah.
So it goes to town meeting, it has to come to us because we have to make a recommendation.
Right.
The rate, if
But-
it's under 3,000 gallons.
We're not gonna have a town meeting,
That-
One rate.
Till
if it's
September.
above 3,000
so it
per
depends on what
household,
line items they're
it's a
taking it out of, I
higher-
guess.
higher rate.
But there were controls put in, so that they just couldn't move money around.
Right.
Yeah, you can't just take salary money and pay water
No.
bills with it
No.
and stuff, so how do they make up that 109,000 anticipated deficit without
You
coming?
know, I don't know. I would say, let's ask them how they're gonna do it.
Okay, but if we ask them in September,
It's-
I mean, I don't know when the process is that they would have to do that transfer.
They wouldn't do it through us. As they didn't come to us last year.
Okay.
But I think it's something that we should, if they're not coming to us, then the selectmen should be possibly involved, and if not, I think we still deserve or should have an explanation.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we need a explanation of what they're doing and why.
Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of things that happen throughout the year, and this year maybe it's this, and next year it's something different, but, when we try to put the budget together for next fiscal year, they anticipate certain things, and we want to know what past history is to kind of say, yeah, that's reasonable, or it's not reasonable.
Right.
So I think we just need a response from them to explain, like I said, whether the shortfall or the overages, what are the issues that contributed to that.
Right.
And then, I mean, I'm sure there are legitimate reasons, but I mean, that 400,000 bothers me as much as the 109.
But I think also when we see budgets, we see what was allocated for the prior year, and
Yeah,
we are getting more information about actuals,
yeah.
but I do agree with you that we need more
I
information.
mean, this is great that we're seeing this now, because I don't think in the past we've seen this much information. So, not that we're the watchdogs for the water department, but we are the watchdogs for the town meeting and
Right.
and the way the money's expended. So we don't want to have a budget $500,000 over than what they actually need. I mean, it's hard to trim it right down to the dollar. I understand that, but what is the percentage? To me, I'm thinking maybe 10% range either way, unless there's some extraordinary circumstance that is pushed it either way.
It's not an ideal situation, but it's between picking a shortfall and an overage. We're better off this way, but I agree with you that it
Yeah.
needs to be closer.
But last year, if you remember, we were all anticipating a $350,000 shortfall or something,
Right.
and then
Right.
miraculously, it was like a $500,000 over or whatever. I mean, there was a $800,000 swing there. I mean, I don't know how that happened.
The
So,
rates had changed last year.
yeah,
I think now they're frozen for this coming year, right? That was,
well, they
Right, which,
Well, they're-
which may not be the right rate.
right.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that they need to get to accurate accounting so that they can
Yeah.
come up with, viable rates.
So we know the rates aren't going up this coming
And
year,
maybe-
but then with this, if they have hundreds of thousands left over, maybe that just keeps the rates the same
Well, just-
the following year, or maybe lower the rates a
But
bit.
just remember,
But
the
they
water
may
department
not.
can change the rates at any time.
Yeah.
They don't have to
Right.
wait for fiscal year. So if they see a deficit approaching, they could
Yeah, they
enact
can vote.
rate
Can-
changes.
Right.
They don't need, who do they
No.
need approval by? The
Them.
selectmen?
Nobody.
They're the
Just
water,
them?
they're the
That-
water
just them?
commissioners.
Okay.
Just them.
Oh, I think Jamie's coming shortly, so she may have more information.
So at
So
least,
if we
maybe
wanna-
we should put them on the agenda for the next
Right,
meeting,
that's
whenever
what
it
I feel
is.
is that, we
Yeah,
just
that's a good
continue it,
idea.
Yep.
since we just got,
Yeah,
this
this just came in
information.
tonight,
Yeah.
so.
Who would we have, Mary Beth, or the commissioners, or
One of
something
each.
like that?
One Mary
Well, if
Beth,
you
one
have more than
commissioner.
one commission, then you have to have a joint meeting, which,
Right.
I think
Okay.
a commissioner and Mary Beth would be.
Sufficient.
Yeah,
Or,
Okay,
I mean, it's really their decision if they
Right.
want to come.
if they want
Yep.
to come.
but that would tell us something if they don't wanna come either, you know what I'm saying? We're just asking
$22
reasonable
a
questions,
gallon.
I think.
So
Right.
that-
Okay, well, I'll put it on the agenda for
The next meeting.
next meeting.
So see, they should really, this is the
No.
problem
Do
I
we
have, a
need
lot
a
of times they
motion for
don't
that, do we?
adequately. They should
Uh,
disclose,
Motion to
with
have
your
the water,
footnote,
to
usage
have the water
bill.
department come
Explain
before
what
us.
you're talking
and discuss.
about.
No, but, well, I don't think we even needed
$100 a month.
a motion to
We're
defer.
just putting it on the
Yeah,
agenda.
we're just putting it on the agenda.
Send them an
I haven't
invitation.
been putting any water on my lawn.
Oh, and just for everyone's
Son,
information, the
he's
amount
16, he puts
that's
showers
still
every
in,
day.
the reserve fund is $73,061.
What, in last fiscal years, or?
Yeah,
And for 17.
Oh,
Well,
for,
how'd that happen? We just transferred out?
yeah, we just transferred
We're waiting
6,000, so
for
it should
you.
be.
Well,
'Cause
right,
we
I mean,
wanna
this is
find out
before that
something about the
6,000.
water.
So what else came out of it?
Do you know
already?
what this means?
and nothing else should have come out of it.
Well, there's
Usage.
clerical services
That
and
doesn't.
expenses.
Gallons, but I don't know, 'cause it doesn't-
$1,560.
But if you
for
take
clerk
that number and
services.
divide that, it's
We
$22
didn't
a
transfer
gallon,
that.
so how could that?
This year?
No,
They
Are
don't
you sure
charge
it's
no,
not
that's
22
part
cents?
of the,
It's- you do have
gallons.
this $22
That's our
a
budget.
gallon.
you're right,
That's
you're right,
what it
you're
would
right, you're right,
So
you're
we
right.
got going here.
We haven't transferred anything out.
Right, just this, the
Right.
one we just
Sorry.
did
I know the water
tonight.
department's
Sorry.
expensive, but
Yeah.
not that pricey, that's gonna be $22 a
Can I
gallon.
use your calc, can I try it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Usage build.
But that would be very, very high, even more higher than what I would ever expect the water to be. Right.
Thank you.
Hey, Jamie.
What's the division here? Let's see.
We're discussing the water department and we've
Oh,
uh,
okay.
What's the
kind of-
division?
Oh, wait a minute, that's.
decided to continue the water department revenue discussion and
That's a
have
decimal point, I'm sorry.
the,
That's what I did wrong.
either Mary
I messed
Beth
up with
and
the
or a
decimal
commissioner
two
come in
places.
next meeting
Okay.
to discuss the information that you got
Okay.
So
from
it'd
them.
be 22 cents.
Basically
That's what I-
discussing the
22 cents 'cause I messed
shortfall
up on the decimal.
uh, and
The overage.
overage.
Yes.
There's quite a bit of money over, so we're just kinda wondering if we could
That's-
get a breakdown of,
Cause
you know,
that sheet, this
how
financial.
that happened, you know, how the numbers got put together like that.
That seems high.
Well, it's 22
I
cents,
don't
I
have the
think.
answer. I know
'Cause
that
you didn't clear
in
it
the
out,
big
that's
budget,
why.
there's a
Clear it
couple of
out
things
to-
that are billed once a year. So there's monies in there that are billed once a year.
Cents, too.
It's, some of the insurances,
Right.
Is that done
Oh.
in June?
that's done in June.
Okay, so there'll be a big chunk probably coming out.
I don't know what that breakdown
Hopefully
is
they need
though.
400,000.
Yeah, I know. They did
Yeah.
huge over there.
Maybe after the water break, they're gonna need more for insurance.
This doesn't really fall off, but that's.
So this analysis may not, if there's still, outstanding bills like the insurance that need to be paid in this fiscal year,
Right.
then a statement that
This
there's
is
enough
only through
may or may
May.
not be
Yeah.
accurate.
And that's
Yeah.
why I wrote it's only through May.
Okay, well,
So if we meet with them at our next meeting, then the fiscal year will be ended and we can see.
And
right.
see what the dust settles.
Yeah.
Well, most of it, because there's a lot of stuff.
I helped him. I filled a pool and it promptly leaked out. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, you'll notice I have green grass around the pool.
I filled my bathtub in anticipation of
Yeah.
the water shortage, and it leaked out. So now I have to repair my kitchen ceiling.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's not good.
Oh,
Well, the day we had the crisis, we were having, that was like a Thursday, and we were having a family funeral on Saturday. And so I thought, oh no, I've got to water my plants there to make them look nice. So I went to Market Basket and filled my trunk up with gallons of water to do this.
Okay. Let's just take care of one other thing. There's a invoice for Association of Town Finance Committees, annual dues for $176.
Make a motion to pay that.
Okay.
Second,
Any other discussion on it? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay, motion carried. Now let's,
do we have to sign it, or just you?
no, I think,
I think it's just
just
you?
me.
Okay.
Let's go back to number 2, reorganization.
We waited for you, Jamie.
Right.
Yep. Either we're gonna make you chairman.
Yeah. Okay, any,
I make a motion that we keep Larry as our chairman.
I will second that.
okay. Any discussion? Are there any other nominations? Please, no, I mean,
Well,
that's
that's
fine.
Are you willing?
I accept.
Are you willing? Okay.
I'm willing to continue on. It's so much fun. Okay, anybody else? Nominations? Okay. Any discussion?
You really don't want to be chairman, right?
Keep saying that.
I know,
doesn't he?
I know, yeah.
noticed that.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, it's unanimous. So let's go to number 3, reappointment to the Personnel Board.
You want a vice chairman too?
And
I
a
make
clerk?
Yeah, I guess we should probably do that.
I make a motion.
I can't do all that by myself. As you can see, I need help.
I make a
Okay.
motion that we elect Sharon continue as vice chairman. Continue.
Okay.
A second.
Do you accept?
I accept.
Okay.
Okay, any discussion, comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. Now we need a clerk.
Jamie, you were the clerk, right? Were you the clerk? I'll make a motion that we re-elect Jamie as the clerk, if she accepts.
Well, second.
Do you accept, Jamie?
I will accept.
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. Now I've got help. Okay, great. Let's go on to number 3, reappointment of Personnel Board member.
Was that you?
That's me.
That's what I thought. I recommend Larry.
I'll second.
Okay. I accept if I had any whatever. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Doesn't make any difference. I'm stuck anyway. Okay.
Was your term up this year, Larry?
No.
No.
Next year, okay.
Me, Chairman.
Because of the reappointment, I thought that was, Dennis, you've been reappointed too,
Yep.
right? Yeah.
Right.
There were three of us.
Yeah, yeah, with me and.
And you too,
Three of
yeah.
us on my
Right.
desk.
I own Phil Parker. It wasn't
Oh,
really a
okay.
job.
I was gonna say, what?
Yeah.
Okay,
Year and a
let's
half.
set the next meeting date.
So if anybody's interested, we have a new principal for Triton School.
Oh,
You're on the selection committee?
I don't remember his name, but it was actually, he
okay.
was my first choice,
Is
because,
he local or out of state? Or?
well, he was teaching over, I mean, he was principal, headmaster over at Allington, you know. for-
Okay, so
so he's
Massachusetts.
pretty,
Is this for the high school?
Yep. Yeah. He's very, like, low-key, he's very, you know, he seems like he's very people-oriented, and I think they were looking for a leader like that for the high school, you know.
And how many candidates?
I think we had about 28 people that applied for the principal, and then we narrowed it down to 6, and then it was now, you know, for second interview after that, down to 3. But
And
they
this-
had 3.
this one wanted-
Yeah, I mean, there was that person, there was somebody else, but this person that they chose is more like personable, I think, you know, and it seems like he would be a better fit for the high school. you know,
Good.
So,
Good to know.
Okay, so when should we meet?
September?
After Labor Day?
Yeah, I think that's what we did last year.
Right.
We meet in August.
I'm gonna try for September 13th, the week after.
That sounds good.
Yeah, you can always change it if we have to, whatever.
Right. I don't think there's gonna be anything earth-shaking coming between then.
You can always call a meeting
That's
if
right.
a need arises.
I actually, before we close, I do have a little information. I just came from the water board meeting.
Sure.
And it was all about the flooding at the treatment plant. There was 13 feet of water in the bottom of the treatment plant that was released from a coupling that had gone bad. As of today, in the basement, the motors have been replaced, safety showers have been fixed, the autofill for chemicals has been brought up. The SCADA system, they are working on the response time. The way the SCADA system works is every 10 minutes, if there's a problem detected, the SCADA system will call the first person in line. And then if there's not a response within 10 minutes, they'll go to person number 2. They are adjusting that to the minimum time possible, and that's happening tomorrow. The DEP has mandated that as of June 30th, there will be 24/7 coverage in the treatment plant.
Is it June 30th?
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
that
after
was the day
act-
of-
After
right.
the action
Okay.
happened.
All right.
There is not
So-
a time frame on that, whether that's going to be a permanent or, you know, a Band-Aid for a certain time. There is not a time frame on that at all. So that could end up being a permanent thing. The drinking standards were never in jeopardy. They continue to exceed the state requirements. The dehumidifiers in the basement need to be replaced. They are using rental units right now. It was a 4-inch coupler that failed. That is being investigated with Maya, and a forensic team is evaluating that and other pieces that they've taken out to evaluate that. There was not in the original plan and will be, and there's no estimate of the value of the price of that yet, but there was never a flood alarm in the basement put in. So they are going to retrofit that. That was never in the original plan. There are 5 contract operation companies that have been contacted to try to fulfill the 24/7 mandate from the DEP. There are only 3 people who are capable of doing this, and they're working 7 days a week. So I would totally expect that that's going to be quite a bill. Company number 1 does not have anyone available. They're waiting for callbacks from company number 2, company number 3, company number 5. Company 4 also has no one available to do that. If there is a problem at the treatment plant, the operator who's on duty cannot leave. So if there's a water main break, they're working with only 3 people who are working long shifts. So that's the reason for looking at a contract operations right now. Approximately 95,000 gallons was lost. The physical plant wages and auxiliary expenses will probably be mostly covered through insurance. There is a $5,000 deductible, and the Board of Selectmen are allowing anything, any bills that come in to go back to the $50,000 extraordinary expense from the 2016 budget. The 24-hour mandate, no idea how long that will last, and no estimate as to what the cost increase would be for wages if that is contracted or someone is hired to do that.
Is that the equipment that's the faulty coupling, is that part of the treatment plant that was just, that was just built? I mean, is that
It's
something?
part of the
So
treatment plant
don't
that was
they-
just built.
So shouldn't they be responsible?
The
Um,
warranty is
The
over.
warranty has expired, and the
shop.
superintendent did contact the plumbing company who did the install, who apparently was of no help,
Have they spent
with the
13
exception of saying, if
$13
you want us to come
million
fix it, we'll come fix it.
$13 million
Right, for a
on
price.
water
For a
treatment
price.
plants?
For a price.
What kind of a warranty was it?
Most of
Most
it
of it
was
1 year.
1
Yeah,
year
1 year,
after
1 year.
install.
Yeah.
But keeping in mind, stuff was installed 6
Yeah.
months before it went online, 8 months before it went online.
Did the board talk about possibly shutting down the plant at night? Because I think when the plant was first built, it wasn't running 24/7,
Correct.
and it was still supplying water to the town.
That's
I mean, that
correct.
would be a cost savings to the town if,
It would if
Yeah.
DEP would allow that. But currently DEP is requiring 24/7.
well, that's while the plant's running. But if the town decided to shut it down, I don't know if the DEP would have anything to say about that. I mean,
I don't know the answer to that.
yeah, because I mean,
That
they're
wasn't brought
concerned
up.
about water quality, not so much the pumping of the water. I mean,
Right.
That
the
would be
the water
overextending
plant
the
is
reach
basically
of
there to
water.
make sure that we have enough water.
Mhm.
At night,
Mhm.
maybe in the summer it might be different, but
Yeah,
off-season,
I don't know
you
the
could
answer to
certainly shut it down and
Yeah, that would
save
be-
some money that way.
Yeah.
Goes to
That would be a
It would.
good thing too, I think.
It goes to surplus tax that DEP is
Yeah, I know,
requiring.
I know. I was thinking the
Extra
same
help.
thing,
Yeah.
but,
Well, right now, it sounds as though they're being held
Mhm.
hostage to what the DEP is
Certainly if it goes
requiring.
past August or so,
Yeah.
that would be a viable thing.
That's something that Mary Beth should look into tonight.
have
sure
they,
it
have
is.
they taken any
You know.
action on the non-responsiveness of
That was not
the
discussed.
personnel that didn't respond to the alarm?
That was not
I
discussed.
mean, there's some accountability there, I would
Right.
think, you know?
Mm.
Especially when, they got phones and things of that nature. I mean, we're paying them to be on call. I mean,
That
accidents
was,
happen, but,
that was not part of the discussion.
How long was the water spilling out before someone responded?
12:30 at night till
Till
6
So
in
when-
the morning.
Till 6 in the...
And there was no alarm in the
Was it
basement, so
hours?
that became like a swimming pool.
there's a picture on the website, if you go to the
Yeah,
website.
There's a big article I'm gonna be putting this tonight.
But there's a
Yeah,
picture on the
I was
website,
trying to
too.
look at,
The New Report article said that the dispatcher of the police station is now part of the alarm system notification.
Right, but they're
Well, then if,
Number
So
if-
at
five.
least that's, well,
well, then you don't
On
need,
the
you don't
list.
need the other people then, if the
I-
police department, you know what I'm saying, save your
I think
save
it's
money
just
there.
like a, a knee-jerk reaction. But I do think that people who have the job should be held accountable for doing the job. But it happened, so now at least they have someone at a phone that will be answered.
But I agree with you, Dennis. DEP, that would be overextending their reach if they were saying you have to have
Yeah.
someone at night, and this is what we
Yeah.
have to do. That's going above and beyond their responsibility, I think.
I think so, yeah.
You know, they're probably assuming that we're gonna run it 24 hours.
Well, no, that's why I'm saying,
But-
we tell them that we're
Right.
gonna shut it down. And,
Yes. Yeah, that's a very good point. Okay, can I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, Paul. And,
I'll second.
okay, Jamie Sharon.
Yep.
Tie for second. All those in favor signify by
Doubly
saying aye.
second.
Aye.
Okay. we
Motion's
are-
carried. We are adjourned. Thank you very much.
Okay.